It is time to get our Christmas on, and you know I love the holiday and Christmas season. But for this year's Christmas vlog, where I read some holiday romances, we're doing things a little bit differently because my friend Aoife from Pretty Purple Polka Dots and I are doing a collab this year where I try Irish Christmas traditions and she is trying Canadian Christmas traditions. And we are swapping traditions for this Christmas and trying out some new things. And you know what's going to happen is I'm going to fall in love with some of these traditions. And then I'm going to add them to my yearly traditions. And I'm just going to get more Christmas traditions, and I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. So I'm going to start reading for this vlog tomorrow and doing some of the holiday things tomorrow. So I wanted to let you know what we're doing and kind of get ready to dive in to the first book. I'm planning on reading 2 holiday Christmas books that are by much anticipated authors. Like, both of these authors are auto-buy authors for me, and both of them came out with Christmas books this year. So like, we had to read them in the annual Christmas vlog. So the first one is going to be Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. This is like a paranormal romance. I think he's a ghost or something like that. I really don't know, but something like that. So yeah, I'm going to start this tomorrow. We're going to start doing some Christmassy things tomorrow. And we're going to just dive into some Irish Christmas traditions. I have a whole list of traditions that Aoife sent to me. Also, I did some like research online for some because I was like, what are Irish Christmas traditions? I don't know what they do differently than what we do. So like, I looked on the internet, and anything that I found on the internet, I verified with Aoife because I was like, you can only take Google results with a grain of salt. So I was like, hey, is this true? And Aoife has confirmed them all to be true. So let's dive in. So it is the next day, and I have made it 10 chapters into Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. In this book, we follow Harriet, and Harriet is running her aunt's antique shop, and she took over after her aunt passed away, and she likes her life. She's very independent, and she likes owning the antique shop, but you know what? Sometimes life gets you down no matter what. No matter how good your life is, sometimes there are customers who are a pain. Sometimes the monotony of every day gets to you, and that's where we find Harriet. And all of a sudden, one night, Harriet is at home. She's watching a Christmas movie. She's got her Christmas PJs on. She's a girl after my own heart, honestly, absolutely. When a man just appears in her living room. And he is a sexy Irish man, which I did not know. I would like to think that I planned this, that I knew the main male character in this book was Irish. And I was like, oh, that's why I'm reading it for this Irish holiday vlog. No, I didn't know that. Happy coincidence. I just picked this because during this vlog, I'm reading 2 auto-buy authors that absolutely cannot put out Christmas books and me not read them. So this is a happy accident, but we're living for it. And he is the ghost of Christmas past. So it is almost a retelling. It's not really a retelling, but it's like adjacent to the Christmas Carol with the ghost of Christmas past. But obviously there's going to be a paranormal romance with Harriet and the ghost of Christmas past. And they are going back over her past Christmases, seeing why he has been summoned to haunt her. And that's really the entire book so far. I would love to say that right now it's giving me 5-star vibes. It's not. I have given 5 stars to almost every B.K. Borison I have read. There's one that I did not. And it had a lot of miscommunication. That was Mixed Signals. No, Into the Weeds. Into the Weeds. I love Mixed Signals. Wrong one. No. Absolutely adored Mixed Signals. Into the Weeds is the one I gave 3 stars. This one doesn't have miscommunication. There's just right now something that is keeping me from like absolutely adoring them. And I can't even put my finger on it. But like, I'm having a fun time with this book. And I do like the way it's set up. So I think I just need to read more of it, honestly. I'm still so early in the story that it's too early for me to have too many opinions. But I do think the Christmas vibes are like on check. And I do think this is the perfect book to be reading in this vlog. So yeah, I need to read more, and I'll come back to you once I've read more. But I did want to let you know what kind of the book was about. But also, we have to do one of the tasks that Aoife has asked me to do for my Irish Christmas. And that is taste test heroes. Cadbury Heroes, okay? This is not something that us Canadians eat. I'm not going to lie. I had to go to a specialty place to even get this in my hands. Canadians are Quality Street people. Quality Street is everywhere. At every grocery store, there are Quality Street. This I had to go on a hunt for. I had to find at a specialty, again, European grocer. And I did find it. And here we are. We're going to taste test some heroes because truly, other than dairy milk, have I tried any of these ever in my entire life? I've had a crunchy before and I've had a dairy milk before. But the rest of these, I have no idea what these are. I have no idea what these are. Not a clue. So we are going to try some heroes because apparently this is an Irish Christmas staple. That is what I was told from Aoife. And also, Aoife has requested that we not only try them, but we do a ranking. So we're going to try every single one. We're going to try every single one and we're going to rank it here right now. That's what we're going to do. Have I ever done a food ranking on this channel? I don't think so because I'm a book channel, but here we are. Are you ready for my thoughts? Canadian tries heroes, Cadbury chocolate. I mean, Cadbury chocolate is great. So I feel like this tin is being really loud while I'm opening it. I'm sorry. Okay, there we go. Oh, it's so colorful and pretty. Look how pretty this is. So what I'm going to do, I'm filming this a little bit before Christmas, obviously. So you're going to see this closer to Christmas. I'm about, 3 or 4 weeks before. So I'm going to try these all today and then I'm going to put this away for my actual Christmas because I do not need to sit and eat this entire tin by myself. So I'm going to save it for when everybody is around to have some as well. But we're going to try one of every single one right now. I do have a coffee because I feel like I'm going to need it, diving into all this chocolate. So let's just reach in and give it a try, I guess. I have the picture on the front to make sure I try all of them because we want to try all of them. And then we will rank them and see what we think. Okay? Are you down for it? I'm down for it. The first one I grabbed is called a Dinky Decker. I have no idea what that means. I'm not going to know what any of these are flavor-wise either. So I don't know which one has caramel. I have no idea. You're just going to have to go along for the ride of my thoughts. Wow, it does not want to open. Okay, there we go. Kind of, sort of, maybe. Did it open? Now, I like soft fillings when it comes to chocolates like this. I don't like hard fillings. So I feel like that might play into a factor of like which ones I like. I know some people like, more toffee fillings and stuff. No, I want a creamy center to my candy. So anyway, here we go. Dinky Decker is going to be the first one we try. Okay. So this one is got like this is almost like a Twix bar. So it's got like the cookie base. It just doesn't have the caramel. It has the cookie base, like the whatever that chocolate filling is, and then covered in chocolate, but it's missing the caramel. But I do like a Twix bar. So I feel like this could be a high ranking for me overall, but I'm going to wait till the end to decide. I'm going to kind of keep my order and then I'll tell you my official order at the end once we've tried them all. What's next? I'm just going to reach in and pull one out and see what we get. Okay. This is called a Wispa. Yes. Here we are. These are actually harder to open than you would think. This one's like a little square. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, that was hard. That wasn't hard once I chewed it. It was hard to bite into, but it melted on your mouth really well. It has a lot of air bubbles in it. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, which reminds me of an Aero bar. I'm probably going to just put these all towards Canadian candy, compare and contrast with Canadian candy. So to me, this is like an Aero bar. It's good. It's really rich. It really coats your tongue. That's good. It's a little hard to bite into though. But again, I think this would be one that I would just put in and let it melt, which is what I do with an Aero bar. So fair. Next, what are we going to get next? Okay, we got another Dinky Decker. We're not trying it. We need to try different ones. This is the Dairy Milk, which I've had a Dairy Milk chocolate bar before. I love Dairy Milk chocolate. It is the superior chocolate. Okay, so I'm going to love this. Okay, so really good chocolate. It's Dairy Milk chocolate. It's really good chocolate. However, this one doesn't have a filling. It's just like a solid piece of chocolate. And I prefer the Dairy Milks with fillings. So that's actually going to be pretty low, honestly, because I want a filling. I don't want just a solid piece of chocolate. I want something fun. That's surprising. That's surprising for me. This is going to be pretty low. Not going to lie. This is going to be pretty low in my ranking. It's going to be pretty low. I also need to adjust myself because my feet are starting to fall asleep. So sorry if I look different now, but my foot was not going to make it through this. I don't know why I decided to do this on the floor. I don't know. Dinky Deckers are all my hand wants to pick up. Apparently Dairy Milk. Okay, this isn't going to work this way anymore. We're going to actually have to like pull them out, I guess. So this is a Cadbury cream egg twisted. I mean, I've had a Cadbury cream egg before, so I should like these in theory. Oh, that's really soft. That is a Cadbury cream egg. That is what that is. That is literally what it is. That's all it is. Maybe like subtle different, but that is what it is, which makes sense. That makes sense with what it is. Okay, where do I put that though? Not gonna lie, it might be my favorite so far. The next one I see right on top is the fudge. It stands out because of its orange like wrapper. I'm gonna need to take a drink of coffee soon because whoo, this is a lot of chocolate. I'm not gonna need any more chocolate for like a week after this taste test. I'm also going to have to edit around so much chewing. Sorry about that. Okay, we have something very similar to this in Quality Street. Can't think of what color it is. Do not know, but we definitely do. This was really good though. This is probably sitting at like number 2. Number 2 right now. I liked that one. Again, I like the soft centers. You're going to notice a trend here. Okay. Okay. What else is there? What else do I still need to try? There's still a few I need to try. I don't like a crunchy. A crunchy is hard toffee. I don't like a crunchy. No, I don't want it. I don't want that. Okay. I knew that was probably going to be my least favorite just because I knew what it was. Dairy Milk Caramel. Yes, please. Love caramel. Who doesn't love caramel? How could you not? Also, my only problem with the Dairy Milk was that there wasn't a filling. So now here we go. Dairy Milk with filling, right? We have a new first place. We have a new first place. We absolutely do. Dairy Milk with caramel. Come on. Come on. If you're wondering why I keep looking over here, it's because I'm putting them in order, the wrappers in order, so that I can tell you my order at the end. What haven't I done? I feel like I've done them all. Oh no, there's one more I haven't done. These ones, these little twists. Are these hard? I think these are like... I don't think I'm going to want to eat this. Yeah, that's what I thought. This is like a caramel, like a chewy caramel. Online, I'm going to edit all the chewing of this because this is going to take ages. Yeah, no. Oh, there's chocolate inside. I just had to chew that for 700 years. It's all stuck in my teeth. No, thank you. There is one more. I thought that was the last one, but we haven't tried the twirl yet. So we have one more to do. One more. Let's do it. This looks very similar to the fudge on the outside. Oh, they kind of like layer the chocolate in it. So it has a snap to it. I don't mind that, even though it's not like a filling or soft, it has a snap. It isn't hard though, because of how there's air pockets and snaps. Okay. Let me look. Give me 2 seconds and I will tell you my order. So here is my ranking on screen. I've eaten a lot of chocolate. I've had enough. I'm going to go, I think, puzzle and work on my holiday puzzle while listening to my audiobook and like burn off some of this sugar. With Aoife. It is only right that I describe this book with Aoife's signature saying, and that is, this was a book that exists and I read it. That is how I feel about this book. I have almost zero thoughts, which is not how I like to vlog. I like to come to you with opinions and things to help you decide if you should pick up this book. And there was just something about this book that the whole time I was reading it very surface level. I really switched to completely audiobook and puzzling because it was the only way I was going to get through this. And I just didn't care about this romance. And I found there wasn't any chemistry between these main characters for me. And it just felt very meh, in my opinion. I didn't really care. I never really cared. The one plot point that I kind of bought into was Harriet's family story, the little bit of background about her family and how she's always struggled to fit into this family who really puts, how people consider themselves forward and not really about the person themselves. They want Harriet to be a lawyer like everyone in the family, and they have really high expectations of her, and they don't really care that that's not the bubble she fits into. And her people-pleasing ways, I did relate to. It was the one thing that I really related to in this book, and it was the one plot point that I was invested in. This whole plot point of this ghost was fine. I do like the concept of like the Christmas past ghost, but I needed to care for him as a character and be invested in his story, and I wasn't. I needed to care about them as a couple and be invested in them as a couple, and I wasn't. So I'm going to give this 3 stars. And I feel like that's quite the disappointment. B.K. Borson has had some of my favorite books of all time. I was really hoping to love this, and it just fell really, really flat for me. But there was nothing that I can sit here and go, this was wrong. I think if you liked the characters, you would like this book. It just didn't work for me. I don't think there's anything wrong. I think there's a lot of people who probably would like this book. I am just not that person. And I do think that maybe the problem is that it's a paranormal romance. I don't ever recall a paranormal romance that I've liked. Nothing is coming to mind. I haven't read a lot of them, but I can't think of one that I did like. So I'm probably maybe just not a paranormal romance girly, and maybe that's the problem as well. Now, one thing that was in this book that is actually featured a couple of times in this book, and I noted it because it was on the list of things Aoife told me were Irish Christmas traditions, and that is to put a candle in the window to like guide the sailors home. And he was a sailor in his past life. So that's why it's brought up a couple of times in this book. And I was like, well, that's a perfect way to kind of like round this out. And that will be the Irish tradition I tried today, is putting a candle in my window to help guide the sailors home. And since I live in a fishing, not in a fishing town, I mean, I live in a pretty big city, but we have fishermen who live here. We live on the coast. We live near a waterfront. We live near a harbor. So like there are lighthouses and fishermen about, you know, it's quite a big thing here. We just don't live in a small village. It's large and massive and huge. But like, you know, same thing. I feel like I should be guiding some fishermen home. So that's what we're going to do once it gets dark. We'll put the candle in the window and do that. Do I have like a fake candle I can put in the window? No. So we're going to have to put a real one in. How long will it sit in my window? Just as long as I feel like it's safe. You know what I'm saying? It will be supervised. Don't worry. It will be very well supervised. The next book for this vlog, though, I don't have yet. I don't have it. So we need to go to the bookstore. I was waiting and hoping that I get it from the library. Well, that's not true. Okay, I'm on a book buying ban. I am. But I am allowed to buy books if they are for projects and if I will read them immediately. I'm just not allowed to buy books that live on my bookshelves till the end of time, okay? So I am allowed to buy something because we are literally about to go buy it and read it. And this is an auto by authors, so like, was I hoping for the library to come in? In all technicality, yes, I did put it on hold. But like, I'm not mad that it didn't because this person has a shrine in my house, okay? Here are all my Icebreakers, Wildfires, Daydreams, paperback editions, special editions, and regular. And then we also have the hardback editions over here. So to say I love Hannah Grace, I mean, my shelves will attest. So this is the first holiday book that Hannah Grace has ever written. I'm interested to see how she tackles a holiday romance. And we're going to go pick up Holiday Ever After at the bookstore and probably grab a coffee. I don't know. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. I tend to never, if I leave the house, I buy coffee. Anybody else need the caffeine just to like function? Me. So we'll probably grab a Christmas coffee somewhere, grab the book. Later, we'll put a candle in the window and then I'll start reading Hannah Grace's new holiday book. I'm hoping this turns it around because I'm actually quite surprised I didn't like this. So if this one doesn't work for me, we can't even put that in the universe. Knock on wood. Is this even wood? It must be some type of wood. I've knocked over books. Like we can't put that in the universe. Okay, let's go. Through Holiday Ever After, and Hannah Grace does it again, hitting with another fabulous book. for me. I absolutely love this book. It's exactly what I want a holiday romance to be. You have the feeling and the vibes of the holidays. It gives you that feeling and fills that space. But the romance can stand on its own. It doesn't necessarily hinge on the Christmas vibes to make it work. So in this book, we follow Clara, and Clara works at her family's toy store or toy business, toy company called Davenport Toys. And that company started off as a small business, grew and grew and grew, and now is a very large company with some corporate greed and some kind of bad intentions now. And Clara doesn't subscribe to that. No, she doesn't. She doesn't believe in that. She wants the company to kind of be more like how it was when her grandfather was running it, not how her father runs it. And she is trying to move the company in a different direction by teaming up with small businesses and supporting them. However, for a year, she's been filling in a different department. And she has just come back to her job in this kind of partnership with small businesses and found out that while she was gone, Davenport Toys stole a toy design from a small business. And they are getting horrible publicity because of that. And her father has sent her to this small town to basically fix his problem, although he doesn't really see that he's done anything wrong. He just wants the bad press to go away. But Clara is like, no, you did something wrong and we actually need to fix this with this toy maker who is Jack. And this whole small town is so lovely. It's kind of a community project where they all work on this doll. He makes the dolls, but the school has a project where like teenagers learn how to sew and make the clothes. And like every bit of this small town comes together to make these dolls. And they're very limited and therefore very special. And they went viral and now were stolen by this big toy company. And you know I love a small town romance. I absolutely adore a small town romance. And this is giving me all the small town vibes that I absolutely want. You meet all the different characters, the man who owns the bar, the woman who owns the coffee shop, the florists, the woman who owns the B&B. Like, you get to know this whole small town, and Clara has taken it upon herself to help this small town. But when she first arrives to town, she doesn't know who owns like the doll company specifically. She meets Jack at the bar. They immediately hit it off. Immediately. They don't hook up, but they get very close to the point of hooking up. And then they find out who each other is. And then Jack doesn't really trust Clara, and he has to learn that like Clara isn't her family. And Clara needs to decide what she's going to do when her morals are opposed to what her family stands for. So we have a little bit of like Clara figuring out what she wants to do. We have Jack trying to open himself up a little bit where it might be a little bit difficult. And I love Clara and Jack, and I love this small town, and I love these characters. And there's absolutely nothing that I don't love about this book. Like, absolutely nothing. There was even a Traitors reference in here, and you know I love the Traitors. And Jack's guilty pleasure is watching the Traitors, which why would it be a guilty pleasure? Because Traitors is amazing. But like, even that, come on, Hannah Grace. Hannah Grace doing the things for me. I'm so excited that I could potentially have a 5-star here with Hannah Grace. I mean, she is an author known to give me a 5-star. So yeah, we're gonna keep going with this today. I actually have quite the busy day though with holiday activities for this vlog. So first I have sprints where I'm gonna be reading this. Then I have a craft night where I'm going to be working on my diamond painting with some friends. I'm going to be working on my snowman diamond painting, so very Christmas adjacent. And then I'm going to tackle my next Irish Christmas tradition, where I'm going to watch the Late Toy Show. Eva has told me that this is a staple, and I have found a playlist of last year's Late Toy Show. So I'm going to watch that tonight to kind of like close out the day. So a lot of fun holiday things and a really great holiday book to go with it. else from this vlog, please go look up the Late Late Toy Show on YouTube. Grab a playlist like I did. Watch it through. Last night, that was so much fun. It was holiday spirit. It made me laugh. I cried when they started to sing for good. I went through all the emotions, and what a perfect way to ring in the holidays, honestly. Like, it is now a staple for me to watch that on YouTube every year. I messaged Aoife and she told me that the new one is like just about to air. Probably by the time you see this, it will have aired, and I will be watching that. Like, honestly, I had so much fun just laughing, dancing. My whole family was watching it. We decided to like throw it on. We didn't know what to expect, honestly. I had no idea what to expect, but it was so much more than I expected it to be. It's like a kid's Christmas concert on steroids. Like, it was nuts, but like in the best possible way. And I had such a great time last night watching it. And then this morning I finished Holiday Ever After by Hannah Grace. And I'm going to give this 5 stars. Hannah Grace does it again. 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars. I love this town. Obviously, we know this is going to be a series. And when you are starting a new series, especially with romance, you have to introduce us to not just the couple for this book, but also some of the people that we're going to be rooting for in the other books. You're laying the foundations for all these other romances. And I think that was done so well. There are 2 couples that I could totally foresee happening in these books right from book 1 outside of Clara and Jack. And I won't say who those are, but there's definitely 2 couples that I'm like, oh, I hope I get a book of these people and I hope I get a book of these people. There are also some single individuals that I would really love to get a book for, and I just think we haven't met who could be the potential love interest yet. We'll meet them in subsequent books. There's a lot of people that I would love to follow in this small town and in this series, and I see how we've laid it out. And not only that, we've had a great romance just within this book. This book is exactly what you want from the start of a holiday small town romance. I love this couple. I love that we're really seeing like a different side of Hannah Grace in this series, because obviously the first series is college romances, college sports romances, and everyone is younger. They're in their early 20s and they're acting like they're in their early 20s. I love all of them. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love that series, but everyone in here is about 30 years old and up. And I think that was really nice to see her writing more mature characters this time around, and how that does alter how a relationship would go forward. You're not having the same events in Icebreaker as you are in this book. It's a very different book. I almost feel like if you liked Daydream, you'd really like this book. Icebreaker, obviously being one of like the smuttier contemporary romances out there, you're not getting that in subsequent books. Daydream is nowhere near. It's almost not smutty at all. This is the same. Like, there is some smut, but it's like 1 or 2 instances. It's not most of the book. And it's a really different vibe than what I think people think of Hannah Grace for, because her first book was kind of a smut fest, honestly. A great smut fest. I loved it. Great mental health rep. Lots of great things in there as well. But this is a very different vibe, and exactly what I want to see from an author. I want to see the various things you can bring to a story, and I think we did that perfectly. And we are ending out this collab with a 5-star and a fabulous night. A big thank you to Aoife for doing this collab with me. If you haven't watched Aoife's video yet, I have linked it down below. So make sure to go check out Aoife doing Canadian Christmas traditions. I can't wait to watch it. As of filming it, I obviously haven't watched it yet, but I know it's going to be fabulous. So make sure you go and check that out. If you want to see more from me, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so you can see whatever the next crazy vlog I decide to do, because guaranteedly I will have something coming out. I won't have another Christmas vlog coming out for another year, but next year you'll probably see me read the sequel to this because I'm obsessed. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it all the way to the end of this video but have nothing to say down in the comments down below, but want to let me know that you made it all the way to the end, leave me the Irish flag emoji. I think that's the perfect way to end this Irish Christmas collab. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.